Hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I'm your host, Ed Troxel. I hope you are having a great day. If you're new to me, let me know because I'm curious, even if you're watching the replay. I always like to say hello to new friends as well as old friends. Yeah, I see you. I see you tuning in. So no matter if you're new or if you're a returning viewer, be sure to say hello at the very least, if not engage, because we're all about showing up, delivering, and engaging here, if you didn't know that. So today is Wednesday, and we are going to talk about a new feature. It's technically not out, but we're going to talk about it because it's a big one that could affect Instagram and how people use it. So we'll talk about that in a second. For those who are new, let me just let you know that, because you're probably like, who's this guy Ed? Why do I care? Well, that's a great question. Who am I? So I basically help you, the entrepreneur, learn how to build your business online. I help you when you're feeling bogged down with all the things about starting your business, and frankly, when you feel overwhelmed with technology, I'm the guy that you call. And I show you exactly what to use and how it will make your life better so you save time, money, and be less stressed. You can find out more of how I can help you at heyednetwork.com. There's the link right there. So today, we're going to go over random news because that's how we have the show set up. It's a fun thing to just go over something random, and then we'll jump into the content, which is about Instagram. So how many of you are Starbucks fans? And if you're not, that's okay. Let me know. I will tell you that I am not a huge fan of Starbucks, but it is convenient when it's on every corner and it's a place where we need to go to work, right? And so now that it's summertime, they have brought back one of their apparently favorite drinks. And I wanted to share this with you because it's important, because a lot of you are going to be running out, grabbing a Starbucks here and there and want something cold. The s'mores. Now, how many of you have actually had this Frappuccino? I don't, how many of you? And you don't have to answer in the comments. You can just think about it. Now, I bring this up because, one, it's summertime and they're promoting it, right? But two, do you ever look at the sugar content? Because it's about equivalent to 6 glazed donuts. So a lot of you know that I'm into health and fitness, and while Frappuccinos may taste good, maybe not this one, but a Frappuccino in general, it's one of those things, Max says, not tastes like motor oil, right? So it's one of those things that it's going to get hotter and people want refreshing drinks, and this may be refreshing to you, but you have to look at these labels. 67 grams of sugar. Now, I bring this up for many reasons, but I wanted to share it with you right now because as entrepreneurs, our lives are crazy. We're always busy. We're always running around. Welcome, Janet. You had it yesterday and it threw half of it out. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. We have to remember as business owners that we have to keep up with so many things. And so we will run to the coffee shop. We will go grab that sugary drink, that energy drink, whatever it may be, right? How many of you have done that, even if you're watching the replay? But we have to also pause for a second and remember to look at the labels and to understand that, and this is a big one for me as I learned this in my health journey here, is that a jar, or I don't have a can with me, so let's just say that this is a can, may look like it's only 4 ounces or 8 ounces or whatever, but realistically, look at the label because it could be more. A real example is those salads, those pre-made salads that you can get at Safeway and stuff. That to me is 1 serving. While some of them are 1 serving, most are not. Most are 2 servings. It blows me away every time. So just keep an eye on the labels, and the reason I bring this up for the Frappuccino part is because it's going to give you a high and then a huge crash. And as a business owner, we don't need that. We don't want that because how are we supposed to keep things moving forward? Hey, Jennifer, welcome. So glad to see you. I see what you did there. Hey, Ed. So just keep that in mind and really pay attention to the labels, especially when you start grabbing these drinks because it's going to get hot and you want a refresher. You want to make sure that you take a look at that because we want to keep you healthy. Because if you're not healthy, your business isn't healthy, and then everything starts to go downhill. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so Instagram. How many of you use Instagram? I know I do. I am not super, super active like I am on Facebook because this is my jam over here, but I still have my Instagram account. So how many of you, even if you're watching the replay, have Instagram, and do you actively use it? I'm just curious. Yeah, Jennifer says serving size is very revealing. Yeah, serving sizes are amazing. When you look at them, I'm like, what? That's one serving to me, but it's considered four. I've even done that with ground beef. Like, what? This little package? That's four hamburgers? Come on. So Instagram. How many of you are using it, and are you using it for business? That's another question, because Instagram is the new it thing, right? Some of the time, Janet says, Max says yes, perfect. Okay, cool. So Instagram is one to keep an eye on, obviously. And if you didn't know, Instagram is actually owned by Facebook. So Facebook controls both parties. So if you thought you got away from Facebook land when you're on Instagram, yeah, you didn't. So Facebook owns Instagram as well. And it is going to have different features, of course, but we're starting to see things overlap. And that's a big one we're seeing is with stories, and there's other features so you can easily share to your business page and things like that. Jennifer says, I love me the IG, more active there because I get more engagement. We're going to talk about that. Max says only for a business, and Jennifer says only for business. Awesome. Okay, perfect. And how are you guys finding your engagement in terms of how are people finding you? Are you using hashtags? Are you just posting and people are just discovering you because they see it in their feed or they follow you? Because there's different ways that you can discover people. So I'm just curious if you're using hashtags to be found or not. Now, this new feature, which is technically not out yet, Instagram says that they're not testing it at this time, but somebody had seen this, and it's an important one because Instagram has kind of built their whole platform up really off of what when you go to Instagram, what is it that speaks to you? Like what's I know that you guys are going to probably say a couple different things, so I'll let you just tell me what you got there. Something with Instagram. What attracts you to Instagram? Jennifer says hashtags for me and commenting on other similar interest groups of people. Perfect. So you're finding people. Jennifer, let me ask you, how are you finding people? Are you finding them through hashtags, or are you just going through your friends list and commenting on them? Because there's different ways. Max says hashtags and following fellow members from a group. Oh, cool. And when you say a group, Max, is that going to be a group from Instagram that you found that you kind of have just, a connection with, or are you talking about a Facebook group? Because that's important too, because a lot of us, when we say groups, we are thinking Facebook groups. So I want to make sure we keep that in mind. So with Instagram, what's interesting and kind of the whole platform has been built off of, if you will, is likes. Right? We double tap, which is the heart, or we just double tap it, the image, and boom, we liked it. And we keep moving forward. We can comment if we want, but that's like the big one. And so what happens if that gets taken away? Which is what is popping up. And so again, it's not available yet, but and Instagram says they're not currently testing this, but a user had discovered this and saw that they removed the like option, meaning you couldn't see. So let's role play for a second. If you're the account holder, so your Instagram, and I'm the viewer, I'm scrolling through my newsfeed and I come across your post, I don't see the likes. I don't see how many people liked your post. You, the account holder, though, would be able to see that on the back end, meaning in your settings. So what do you think about that? Do you like that? Would that be a feature you would like, or do you think that that would really pull Instagram down? Now, I will say, just off of the top there, that I think that's a great feature because of the fact that everyone is so obsessed with the numbers. everyone is so obsessed with having the most likes, the most followers, so that they can get the 10,000 followers, so they can get the link, and so that they can look like they're an influencer, but they're not an influencer. And I mean, there's so many things that go on, and it's like, what? Why can't we just be about this, the engagement? What you guys are doing right now, what you're doing on the replay. Because I get a lot of you who are on the replay that I'm still commenting with days later. That's what counts. And so that's kind of the reasoning. Instagram is going to be testing that, slash has been testing that, because they do want to bring back the engagement part. And they know that they have an issue. They know that they have a problem. The problem is everyone's obsessed with the likes. So it doesn't even matter the engagement part, but that's what counts though. That's where we build our relationships. Remember, the magic happens in the comments, just like you guys are doing right now. We got Max saying hashtags and following fellow members from a group. No, a Facebook group from a paid course, got it. Max said at the end of the course, a lot of the members shared Instagram contact info. Perfect. Bernadette, welcome. I think it's a cool feature. Yeah, I think it will really help. And so it's something that you want to make sure that you're aware of, that you're not just focusing on how many likes a post got. There's so much more to that, because a like doesn't mean anything. It doesn't anymore. It's a passive experience. We don't know what they liked about that, right? But if somebody comments and says, I like your post, then you can comment back and say what? What's something that you could respond that would help you understand what they liked about that post? Think about it. That is more powerful, right? If I saw your post and I actually was forced to comment and say, I like your post, then what can you do? You can engage with it. You can reply, and you can say, thank you. Did anything specific stand out to you? Or what did you specifically like about the post? Was it the color? Was it the content? Was it the title? Like, you can go on with the conversation. And then that's where the magic happens. That's where you start building those relationships. And now you're really going into in-depth with your potential customer and being able to have that strong connection and that form that bond with them. So that's what you really want to think about. So whether it's Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, don't stay focused so much on those numbers, those vanity metrics, right? The likes. Focus on the engagement. The big companies now, Facebook and Twitter and all of them, they're really trying to circle back to that engagement part. We're starting to see that a lot more now. So it's good that they're starting to do that from the top down, but we have to remember to not get so obsessed with those numbers and to really think about, what does that translate to? Where's that engagement? And what's happening with that? Are we building relationships? Are we meeting new people? Are we able to connect with them? Do we know what they want or what they need? That helps us with our content. There's so much going on with that. So really think about that when you start looking at your insights and really looking at those numbers and seeing what's going on. And don't just depend on the likes, because it doesn't mean anything, really. So anyway, it will be interesting to see if that feature comes to light any time soon. Currently, they said that they're not testing it, even though somebody found it. So we'll see. But we know one thing is for sure, that things are always changing. We always have to keep up. We always have to figure out what's new today, because it's changed from yesterday. And that's both on Instagram and Facebook. Even though it's owned by Facebook, there's still a lot of changes that go on constantly, and it's hard to keep up as a business owner. And that's why you should join a community and be a part of something like the Hey Ed Network, so then that way you can stay in the loop and get to see exactly how to do things, so it saves you that time, so you're not stumbling around and trying to Google search it and everything. So anyway, if you need anything else, you know where to find me here on the page if you're watching me on Facebook or over inside the Hey Ed Network. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you guys back here maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Otherwise, next week. All right. Take care, guys.